drawn, and my parents used to say to me, "You was always in the corner, drawing or sketching away, you know." But it was, I suppose, it was in the sort of, I suppose, when I really started getting into it is when in the late '60s and seeing the Beatles. I was very fortunate to when I started the secondary school, that there was a guy called John Brown who noticed something in me as an artist. He used to get me invited to things like the Rocky Horror Show and Hair, and I was in the 4th year, and I was able to go with the 6 years to go and see these amazing productions, you know. But and also he really encouraged me to do a lot of figure drawing. But I always had this sort of Beatle thing going on, you know, music, and got very involved with sort of doing icons. I also started teaching. I was teaching adult education whilst I was a student. For me, that was something, I was quite young when I was doing that, but it was something I didn't want to go down the line of teaching. I always had this thing, I wanted to be a painter, and that's what I do now. With the abstracts, I mean, it's something I really, really love doing. I mean, this is, you know, this isn't my bread and butter. My bread and butter is the pop icon film, Pop and Rocked. But when I'm in a position financially where I can spend a bit of time doing some abstract painting, then I love it. I mean, and I do it for myself. I don't do it for anyone else. I do it because I like to see what paint does. I like to see how it moves about on a canvas, and I got really heavily into these what I called circle drip paintings, and they're all based on circles and dripping. So it's a bit of the Pollock technique. I came across a painting by an American artist called Norman Rockwell, who used to paint for the American Evening Post, and I came across this painting, which was of a gentleman looking at what looks like an abstract painting. It's more abstract than a Jackson Pollock, but in the paintings that I'm doing, for the influence of this, it's done more in the Pollock style. But it's a man looking at an abstract painting from a back view. Now I seem to have sort of got really into this image, and I've been doing lots of paintings of back views of people. I started off with Tony Hancock, but you know, he wears a hat and a large overcoat, and I started taking the heads out. So you've just got a floating hat, and you've got the mass of the body, and it seems to have captured people's imaginations. You know. Well, I've got no pension. It's I have a joke with the kids actually. And the wife. I say, one day you're going to come into my studio, I'm going to be sitting at my easel, and I'm going to be dead. Slumped over the easel, dead, with probably a paintbrush in there, hopefully. I won't be able to retire, I won't be able to afford to retire. So it's going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to be pushing that paintbrush to the end.